go back to the flood emergency gripping Queensland right now with Premier David Crisafulli live in Brisbane. Good morning to you, Premier. All right, give us a lay of the land. How has the night been? What is the situation there?
Good morning, David. The night's been good. There hasn't been those massive rainfall totals that we've woken up to over the course of the last week. Now, the Weather Bureau says there's still that prospect of those isolated heavy falls, but that's been downgraded from intense falls. The challenge, of course, is particularly in the western part of the state. You're dealing with catchments that are already full. They've had, in many cases, more than a year's worth of rain over the course of a week or so, so there's not much places for it to go if it rains again. So we're obviously actively watching it with pre-positioned resources, and there is that challenge in a large part of the west of the state where there's already been north of 50,000 livestock lost. That number will continue to grow. We're bringing fodder in there, we're bringing veterinary supplies, but any further rain there would really hamper their ability to be able to get those beasts to a safe space long term and get them to survive. So that's a big challenge for us.
Well, Premier, you speak there of the community recovery effort. We have to ask you about your minister here, Amanda Cam, who is meant to be in charge of that relief effort from natural disasters. Now, it has been revealed this morning that she's currently on safari in Africa. Should someone with this responsibility be taking holidays during the cyclone season? It's not a surprise that Queensland faces these threats at this time of year every year.
Sure, David, but we're a team, and that means that different people act in different roles for each other over the course of a year. But ultimately, I lead that team, and I'm the head of the government, and I'm the head of the response. And I was on the ground yesterday in Clermont and got to see firsthand the pain that community is experiencing. A few days before that, I was in North Queensland where the system crossed and got to see the impact on some of those communities. And I was first on the ground in northwest Queensland where you've had some incredible heartache for some of those people in primary production and businesses. So ultimately the buck stops with me, and I'm here at the disaster centre, and I'll continue to lead that response. And those ministers have done a really good job in working with those agencies.
Yeah, ultimately we agree with you that the buck does stop with you on this one, Premier, but she's currently in Africa. She's still posting online. She still appears to be giving those updates as well. It appears that she is phoning it in. Now, if you don't need that portfolio, why do you even have it in Cabinet?
Well, the acting minister will be sitting beside me this morning at the recovery meeting, and as she did for somebody else beforehand. But ultimately, the response of a government is led by the Premier of the day, and with the help of those ministers. And the most important people are the fireys, the cops, the ambos, who have done an amazing job during this event, and will continue to work with them. And what I did do is, and I spoke about this before the event, we pre-positioned a lot of those resources, and we spent a lot of time getting ready for this event. And I can hand on heart say, David, we're better prepared than at any time in Queensland's history, and the response shows. And overwhelmingly, the way we've responded to this has been as a result of all of those ministers working with the people who wear those uniforms.
Premier, agree, but she's still posting online, and it's quite deceptive in the way that she is doing it. She is posting with emergency services. She's just sneaking the word recently into those captions. That is one of those photos here. This is pretty tricky, slippery stuff.
Well, I disagree with you, David, and she clearly says that is not a photo that's current by using that word. And again, I say to you, I'm here this morning talking to you, and I'm about to chair the disaster statewide meeting. The acting minister will be there as she did for somebody else previously. But as I said, I was on the ground yesterday. I felt the pain of those residents, and overwhelmingly they all said they felt the response to the disaster was pretty good. And that's my job. And that's why I'm here talking to you this morning, because I lead that, and the buck stops with me. And here I am talking to you and leading that recovery, and I couldn't be more proud of the work of the people who are in that building and on the ground helping people in their hour of need.
Well, we would love to hear from her constituents there in the electorate of Whitsundays to see what they feel. Premier, thanks for your time this morning. Thank you.
Good on you, David. Thanks, mate.
Here's mine.